Roguelike fans, welcome back. And it's okay, you can admit to me, you're addicted to survival games, right? Well, I've got a new one for you to try out. It's called Slasher Origins. It releases today, actually, on the 29th of January. You can get it on Xbox, PC, and on PlayStation 5. I'll put a link in the description. Check it out. This video is sponsored by Slasher Origins, so I fully recommend you having a try. Now, I'm going to be doing today's run with Al for one reason and one reason only. It has this chain that you can see down the bottom, and I think you'll admit very quickly, the chain is the main reason we're playing this game here. We're going to jump straight in. We've got no skins as of yet. I'm going to go through on medium difficulty. Now, this game is a pretty classic survivor-style game, but there are some anime storyline videos that you can watch. I'm skipping them for now. There's the chain. Just because they can take a while. They're quite in-depth, actually. There's a lot of lore behind each character on their journey to become these kind of half-demon, half-human slashers. But we're going to go into the gameplay. That's what we're here for. You can see the chain. This has classic survivor-style gameplay. You have the ability to control your character. You have the ability to gain upgrades. We want only two things. We want the chain, and there's a little dragger that I'm going to grab as well, because the goal here is to make sure that that chain does as much damage as we can. We'll do some fire as we run around as well. You also have the ability to control the camera angle, and that's pretty much it. We are having terrible luck here. I want the chain. I might cancel and restart this run if I don't get some chain upgrades soon. When you die, you'll get some points or some gems that you can use to do permanent upgrades, classic roguelike mechanics. I've spent all of my gems so far on getting rotation of that chain. Have I mentioned that I like the chain? Has the game mentioned that it hates the chain? Alright, there's our first dragon upgrade, Draco. We want Draco to be powerful. Draco's going to follow us around. Now, we'll gain a bunch of abilities. The abilities have cooldowns, which I was a little bit surprised they don't have visual elements to the cooldowns, but you can upgrade them and things like that. Still no chain. Let's do some tentacles. Tentacles seem good. And you also get those sort of down the bottom left of the screen, you'll see some white, which are more like some white abilities. They're not really abilities, they're more like passive upgrades and things like that. Things that give you extra health or healing and things like that. This game hates me, but it is giving me Draco, so we're going to keep getting that dragon to be as powerful as possible. Now, to be honest, the start of this game is really, really easy. You could probably just stand around and tank it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a bit of a time skip. We're going to jump forward, and that way you'll see more of the trickier dimensions. So, alright, we're about to hit 6 minutes in, and you'll see down the bottom left, I've hit level 20. I think I'm at about level 6 for the dragon and level 6 for my chain. So, developers, if you're watching this, please explain. On my first practice run, I was up to like level 8 of the chain. I'm disappointed, but we're still doing some work. Now, it's starting to get a little bit more difficult. You can see that my health is running a little bit low. I'm about half health at the moment. So I'll go around the map. Down the bottom right, you'll see there's a map. There's actually some healing points here. So I'm going to go and try and find some healing points. There's a little mini one that we'll use. And there's some larger healing points that we'll look for as well. As you get on a little bit, we should get some boss spawns. We've got these little yellow points on the map. Gotta be honest, I have no idea what they do, but... and just be careful, it's really easy to get caught on the things. Oh, there's one of our big healing areas. So there's the yellow stars there. No idea what it does, but it's handy. So these healing points won't last forever, but they're really handy. As you can see, straight back to full HP now, and that's going to make it much easier for me to deal with these large swarms of enemies. Now, obviously, that I'm at 21 in terms of levels now, it's taking a lot longer for me to get through. So I'm going to have to collect a lot more of these orbs if I want to level up. Now, I want to talk about the visual design a little bit whilst I run and avoid and dodge the best that I can. I actually think the enemies in this are the highest point of the visual design. Some of these enemies look fantastic, and the longer you get into these runs, the better they get. I'm actually surprised by the character animation. Oh, there we go, level 6 chain. We're getting there. I don't think the character animation is the strongest point. I don't know, I would say that it's almost contrasting with the quality of the enemies, but still 2.5 sort of perspective survivor game, I guess. It's got that cool aspect there, but we're going to keep running around and see if we can get some interesting enemies to find us and see if we can keep upgrading that chain. It's definitely starting to get a little bit more difficult, and The game allows you to access a number of different characters. You get access to 3 at the start, but you can unlock more by surviving a certain amount of time. There's different maps as well, so that's something I'll be looking into after this game, is trying to... See, I think you need to survive 60 minutes inside the map. What have I got? Chain 7. Alright, there you go. Threatening the developers has seemed to work, because now I'm getting those chains. That should be meaning that my rotation is getting fast, and I'm pretty much clearing these enemies with my chain once the cooldown's there. I've spent a couple of points on cooldown points as well. Cooldown reduction, which is handy, but you'll see that we're clearing them pretty easily. Alright, we are almost 10 minutes into this run. You can see my health is still good. You can see that the chain strat is working well. I'm getting a lot of slash. I don't really want that. Just gonna see if anything interesting happens. Often the 10-minute mark in these sort of survivor-style games can be a bit of a trigger for bosses and things like that. So let's see if anything happens at the 10-minute mark in 5. Oh, we've got something happening here with a special ability. It happened 5 seconds before 10 minutes. So I don't think that was actually a coincidence, because I've seen that happen at different times before, but I think, did it clear everything off the screen? I feel like it cleared everything off the screen, so... But no bosses at the moment, so we're going to keep chilling, we're going to keep leveling up. It is taking a long time, and those hordes are getting much, much bigger. Luckily, we have the world's strongest chain. I would like if it would spin a bit faster. I am really mindful of the fact that I know there's some pretty devastatingly strong monsters coming soon as well. Alright, we are 12 minutes into the run. Now, this is where the game starts to get fun. This is where I'm no longer focusing on experience, and we get some of these big monsters like you'll see here, and some really crazy big hordes coming in. Now, I've only got one source of damage, which is the chain. I've also got my dragon, but you'll notice here the dragon is really struggling. I think his name's Drago. Drago's struggling to keep up with us, so it's going to take a couple minutes every time we level up, and we're going to start to run in. With the way that the enemies are spawned on this sort of infinite map, we're going to start to run into lots of enemies that are going to start to tank us down. Let's see if we can clear this big wave. We're still doing enough damage, so I don't think we're at threat. I don't think we get any more chains. We're doing okay. The goal? Survive as long as possible. Let's see if we can find a boss. I'm actually really happy that I'm clearing those big enemies. They're scary. I'm clearing them in one hit, so the damage is good. Alright, these tentacle bugs. Tentacle bugs aren't good. This is one of those other healing pads that I spoke to you about earlier. So these ones will last a lot longer. And you can pretty much use these late game when you know that you're going to have these much larger hordes of enemies that are definitely starting to tank my health here. And these will last a certain amount of health. I'm not exactly how long, or if it's a time trigger that you can spend a certain amount of time in there, but it definitely makes survivability a lot easier. Now, my goal here now is just to try and find one of these bosses. So I'm going to keep going until I can show you a boss fight. I feel like we're pretty strong. I feel like the chain's doing the damage. I'm not sure. I think there might be a cap level for each ability, because I think the last 4 or 5 levels I haven't seen a chain one there. So, alright, I've got something shooting me there. I think that might be... Alright, I feel like we might have found a boss. Or we've definitely found some attacks that are doing a lot of damage. We've got these skulls that are hitting us from out of the screen. I think there might be a boss in there somewhere, so... I am taking damage a lot. I need to run away. I need to look for a heal. You can see on the map that there's some healing over here. I might utilize that. So maybe there was a boss in there. Maybe I just ran into an area that's really, really aggressive. But all I know is my HP is not looking pretty at the moment. Let's try and get a heal. Should be a heal up here somewhere. There we go. Oh, that was quite well needed. I think I might need another one. I'm still getting shot. That must be a boss. This is the area I need here. Alright, let's see if we can find where this is, because I want to try and take them out. Something is shooting big skulls at me, and I'm not sure where they're coming from. Maybe there's a blue creature in there? Could be the blue creature. Alright, I did my best. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to 20 minutes. I've got the death screen here. According to this, that wasn't a boss. So that was just some really nasty enemies. So I was wrong, but that's okay. Let's go back to the main menu. As I said earlier, this game has some anime style background stories of characters. So you have this ability to go in here and check out these sort of comic. The animations are a bit interesting, the graphics are a bit interesting, but there's storylines that if you want to and go and look into how these people become these special slashers, it's kind of interesting. It's something that's definitely worth you having a look at. I quite like the art. It's a little bit different there. So just reminding you that Slasher Origins just released today, new chaotic survivor style game that you can get for like very small amount of money, like $6 Australian, available on Steam, available on PlayStation and Xbox as well. If you want to see more runs, I'll start unlocking some characters pretty soon. Let me know in the comments. And remember to check out that link in the description.